I've been thinking about whether or not I should buy the MacBook Air M2, and I think the best place to start off with is why you probably shouldn't. Now, the first reason is if you have a MacBook Air M1. There's only a slight performance difference. It's something like the graphics core is just a bit better. So if you're obviously editing or games, don't get me started on games, it'll make a difference. Otherwise, processor is supposed to be the same. I mean, I don't know, it says 8-core processor. I don't know what that means. What's the processing speed on it? They don't really do it in the same way Intel does. So in terms of processor, you won't get much, but there seems to be downsides to the M2 processor, it being a tad bit stronger. Max Tech in particular has noticed that it runs quite warm and a lot warmer. So I don't know if that's going to be fixed via a patch or some sort of update, or whether that's permanent. And the M2 variant is slightly hotter. Keep in mind, it's still fanless, which is amazing for a laptop of this performance. And if you have the M1 is way more capable. So if you've just bought it, you've obviously dropped a bit of money on it. So why would you want to spend that much money on buying the M2, which is only a slight upgrade in terms of performance? Second thing is the color. Now, that midnight color looks absolutely fantastic. I've seen it in person. It's really, really good. The only problem is it apparently scratches, which they're dubbing Scratchgate. It's the only color that does that. Perhaps that's why maybe Apple have stuck to space gray and silver for so long. There is a twilight color. It kind of looks a bit bronzy, but apparently, oh sorry, not twilight, starlight color. Looks a bit bronzy to me. You can't really tell, to be honest. It's just another variant of a gray, to be fair. But the midnight is the one I would have gotten, but to have it scratch, I mean, some people have only had it a week or two, and pulling the cable in and out causes it to scratch. That's not very good. Those are the two main things putting me off, along with the price increase. Now, if you're first time buyer, it's a couple hundred extra. So it's not bad. If you have the M1, you've obviously got to sell your M1, and then you've got, well, you might want to keep both of them, but I would have to sell it, which is why it's putting me off. I'd have to put a lot extra for something that only gives me a tiny bit of performance extra that I may or may not notice. That sort of tapered design is sort of gone with the wedge at the bottom of it, and it's just all leveled out, and it is actually nicer to hold. But still, I'm not convinced by it, and I think it's way too much, particularly to have 8 gigabytes of RAM for £1,200 or $1,200. I mean, it's just a lot. But I mean, we know Apple, they produce quality goods, but then they charge what they want, really. Now, I know with the M2, I don't believe it's selling as fast as the M1. The M1 was groundbreaking. It wiped out Intel completely. The M2 obviously does the same, but why? Where for nearly half the price, at some places you can pick up the M1. Even used, you'll get a pretty good deal on eBay. But I'm just not totally convinced by it. I mean, you've got the design, obviously, that's great. I love the design of it. The design is an improvement, even if the notch is ugly. It's still got the bezels. I mean, I kind of have to almost persuade myself with Apple's, not propaganda, what do we call it? The little marketing on here. I've looked at YouTube videos, and sometimes the YouTube videos aren't quite personal. It's almost like, structured, and it's quite clear some of them haven't had it for too long. But yeah, I mean, I hate the notch. There should not be a notch on a laptop like this at all. Same battery life, just everything else is the same, to be honest. 1080p camera, yeah, okay. I did mention that in the video before. But I mean, the whole point of this video is why, well, should you buy it, really? If you haven't got the M1 and you're looking to get a MacBook, then by all means, go for it. You can go with the M1, you're not going to lose out. And as people have pointed, both designs are still very similar. It's not a radical change. It's supposed to be a tad bit lighter. I noticed it was more balanced. This one's a bit sort of weight heavy from the hinge. But still, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm not convinced by it. I don't think I want to drop too much money on it. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments below. I was hoping to get it. I was hoping to do quite a few videos on it, but it's just not, it's not, I'm not a rich YouTuber, put it that way. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you haven't, please subscribe. I will have some more videos coming up. I'm also going to do some videos with the iPhone 13 Pro Max later on, sort of sightseeing, because it is a fantastic camera. And it'll be interesting to see the iPhone 14, what that comes out with. But yeah, until next time.